Today, we're talking with Travis Petschl, owner of Green Lagoon Golf and known as the Ice Cream King. From the Army Reserves to the Minnesota Vikings and over 40 jobs, Travis took a rundown mini golf course and made it a Guinness World Record holder. Let's go.
From working in his family's Chinese restaurant to bartending to becoming present-day owner of Twin City Heating, Air, and Electric, my father's true superpower is human connection. Now, he's on a mission to capture the most fascinating stories that make up the Minnesota community. You're listening to the Twin City Tales podcast.
Today, I'm excited to introduce Travis Petschl, owner and operator of Green Lagoon Golf in Chicago City. He is also known as the Ice Cream King in these parts. Travis isn't your typical entrepreneur. He grew up in East Bethel, served in the Army Reserve, worked for the Minnesota Vikings, and has held over 40 jobs. Travis took over a rundown Green Lagoon Golf, and now it features a Guinness Book of World Record attempt for the longest mini golf hole. We'll explore his unique journey, business strategies, and his commitment to the local community. Let's welcome Travis Petschl.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
This is going to be fun. I'm excited. You grew up in in the East Bethel area, but you went to Blaine High School.
I went to St. Francis.
St. Francis?
Yeah, St. Francis. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, no, it's not that far. I grew up in East Bethel. We're in the St. Francis district. So yeah, it's a good time.
What was it like growing up back then?
I lived on a dirt road, and it was fun. I had the movie Sandlot, right? All the kids get together and play baseball. That's exactly what we did growing up. So as soon as summer hit, we would all go over to my buddy's house. There was probably 9, 10, 11 of us, and we would just play baseball in his backyard over and over again until it got too hot, and then we'd go over to my house and jump in the pond and go swimming.
Oh, that's awesome. So, and you can ride for miles out there in that countryside, I'm sure.
Yeah. We'd ride our bikes. I mean, we all lived, it seemed close, but really you measure it now, it's like a couple miles away from each other, but you just ride your bike back then. So
I was just thinking, is it Lake George that's up there?
Yeah, Lake George is up in St. Francis
and
there.
Would go up to the swimming hole up there. And
Yep. Yeah, it's a cool lake. Yeah. My mom's cousin had a lake cabin up there, and so we'd go one summer. I think we stayed in a little camper for the entire summer right on the lake. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that St. Francis area is kind of a cool little town. They're starting to expand more.
Yeah, Rum River runs right through it, and so it's got some cool features up there.
Yeah, an old bowling alley at one time. I
used to go there. We used to go Midnight Bowl. It was a lot of fun. A bunch of us and just hang out and play the games.
And they always did the 4th of July fireworks in St. Francis, right right up in that. You'd get a spot at that Super Value or whatever that place was.
That grocery store changed hands so many times. I don't know. So yeah.
But it was one of those cool old grocery stores.
It was
old school.
Very old school. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which was really neat.
Yeah, it was a good time. I mean, it was right across the street from the high school. So, I mean, that's where you go after class or whatever. So,
yeah, that place is really growing. Even that county market that's now there. And I guess I want to say it was put in a couple of years ago, but it's been 20 years now, I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's been a while. I haven't been up there that often. I still have, obviously, friends and stuff that are up there, but yeah, they're like, oh yeah, we went up to this. I was like, I didn't know that was in St. Francis. It wasn't back then. We got a Subway in my senior year. That was the big food place we had up there. So
wow. And then after that, you went into the military.
Yep. I joined the military in '99, and did the Army Reserve. So you get, 1 week in a month, 2 weeks a year type of deal, which sounded awesome because I needed money for college. I went through one semester of college and I realized I didn't have any money for the next semester. So, Army was a solid fit. One of my best friend joined. He was a year ahead of me. He was doing some other stuff. And so he's like, yeah, he came back from his basic training and he had to work with a recruiter to stay an extra week. And so I'd have to drive him there. He didn't have a car. So I would go to the recruiter every day. Like, hey, you want to join? Every day for a week. Eventually, like, I guess what do you guys got? So they offered free food and some money for college. It sounded like a good deal to me.
And see the world. Like you get to travel.
See the world. Yes, absolutely. So when I joined, the unit I joined, its counterpart was in Wiesbaden, Germany. So our 2 weeks a year, instead of like going up to Camp Ripley, we would go over to Wiesbaden, Germany, which was amazing. They actually get to travel the world. So it was a lot of fun. I really liked it. So.
Yeah, and you were like one of the first groups to go into.
Yeah, so my 2 weeks out of the year in 2003, in January of 2003, they said, hey, you're going to get going. And we all knew rumblings within the military community. Everyone kind of knows there's something happening. And so when we got there, they said, oh, just so you know, you guys will get to go home in 2 weeks, no problem. So we're like, oh, great. So we had a weekend plan. We went to Monaco, it's in southern France, all that place, Monte Carlo Casino, super fun. And then we came back to the active duty unit. They're like, hey, by the way, just kidding. And you guys have to stay here. So the rest of your units come over. There was probably 11 of us that were over there at the time. And the rest of our unit, which was 100 plus soldiers, came over. And then we went right from there to Kuwait and then obviously up to Iraq. So, so my 2 weeks turned into 13 months. And I didn't have any of my gear or any of that stuff. It was super fun times. So.
Wow, yeah, and that's a long time to be away from like Minnesota when you're expecting like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was kind of a mess. And then when we came back, they didn't have any protocols back then, so we came back to like, hey, by the way, you guys can just go home. And so it was kind of there was no demo process. It was 3 days. Now, then it switched up to now it's like a couple weeks to get everyone acclimated back to their systems and stuff. But yeah, it was a different time.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, we were on indefinite orders, which means there was no end date. They were just like, here, you're going to be in Iraq, and we don't know when you're coming home.
Wow.
So we basically found out like a few weeks before we came back that we were coming back. So always rumblings, oh, you guys might be done, now. And then that never happened. So.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone in our audience, like, thanks you for our service. That's like for your service, what you provide for us, and we'll never know what you kind of went through there. And
I think a lot of us feel like everyone back home was worth it. That's why we did those things. So
that's
happy to do it.
I appreciate that, and we talked about community a little bit, and what I find fascinating about you is you ran for mayor too.
I did.
Chicago City.
Yeah, I've done it a few times, and and it cost only $2, by the way. So if anyone's looking to run for mayor anywhere, it doesn't cost that much. The reason I ran for mayor was because the person that was running for mayor was running unopposed, and that's not really democratic. It doesn't feel right. It feels like it's just then there's no point to. They don't have to do anything. So what I did was I put in $2 the first time, and that was it. I just put my name in. I didn't do anything. But that guy campaigned for the first time in probably about 10 years because he was the mayor for so long. Yeah. He campaigned, and he was in the parade, and it was kind of funny to watch because I just put in my $2. I ruffled a bunch of feathers. People at the city hall were like, what are you doing? I was like, I don't want him to run unopposed. So then the last couple of times I've made, I think, 2 signs now. So,
but it was on the corner of your golf course.
Yeah.
On the corner of, was that
Highway 8? Yep.
Highway 8.
Highway 8 and Pioneer Road or 23. Yep.
It's a busy intersection.
It's very busy. Yeah. But it was just, because people kept asking me, do you have any signs? I was like, no, but I can. So, in the last election, I think I got like 30% of the vote, which is pretty good considering, I didn't campaign, and the person who was running the last one was the acting mayor. So yeah, it's a good time.
Did you have to debate him at all?
No. I don't think he put anything in. I've answered some of the newspapers questions if they asked and stuff. And I put out a big, thing. I'm like, hey, this is where I stand on things. I think that they're spending too much money, as governments do. And, but yeah, I just like the community, and that's basically why I like to do that. So
30%.
Yeah, something like that.
And not a lot of people pay attention to those smaller elections.
Oh, no.
And if you just ran a campaign that said, if I win, one day everybody gets free ice cream,
Right.
you would take it, I bet.
I mean, that seems like bribery, but yeah, no, I gotcha. But yeah, no, it's interesting. I originally did it because I have a political science degree from the University of Minnesota, and one of the classes was voting, and so it's always interesting because the incumbents they already garnish a certain percentage of votes, so anyone new coming in, it's harder for them to get votes, and so I kind of did it the first time without doing anything, not even saying that I was running, just to see how many votes I got. And then the next time I did it again, but I put out a sign to see if it gained any more votes and did a little post and things like that. And it does work. But it was a good kind of scientific research too as well. So
Yeah. That is kind of cool. Just to even say you ran for mayor.
Absolutely. I run and lost every time so far. So which is just fine.
But if you actually tried and had a campaign slogan,
yeah, my buddies
30%.
my buddies just told me, like, you got 30%. Next time we're gonna put your name in. We're gonna campaign for you. I'm like, guys, no. I
don't want that job.
I have a lot going on. It was I just want people to know that it's okay to run against the incumbent.
So if you had won, would you have woken up in the morning and go, I freaking won? Now what?
Yeah, no, I mean, no, I'm like I said, I have a political science degree. I used to be the student senate president at Century College. I've done that job before in other aspects. I've worked down at the state capitol as a legislative assistant, so I understand the whole process. And I know in the small towns now, they have city administrators that basically run the cities. The mayors do a lot of the figurehead acting as chief and help guide principles of what we're trying to do. So,
gotcha.
And that would be more than fine. So it would just be another thing on my plate.
Yeah. And you're already kind of a natural leader with all the jobs you've seen and been through. Over 40 jobs, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I started when I was, I think we started one of our jobs when I was like 11 or 12. We went and picked up sticks and like did some landscaping at this farm, and so I counted that as one of my first jobs. I used to, my first paying job with a paycheck was an umpire for Little League baseball, and I was like 12, 13, 14. And, and so I was barely bigger than the kids that I was umpiring. So it was a process, but yeah, no, I like to keep track. And so I like to do a lot of different things. And so it's kind of progressed that way. And I've done a lot of things that are kind of cool, a lot of things that, not that great, but so. I'm
picturing you as a 12-year-old arguing balls and strikes with a 10-year-old at the plate.
It was crazy. The one time I was accused of cheating, by the way, in I think the kids were in first grade Little League baseball game, and their team won. So it's just out of control. I'm like, I don't know if this is even right for me or anyone, because I'm not cheating. I could care less about what happens to these first graders. I'm in like fifth grade.
And it's first graders.
Or sixth grade, yeah.
Coaches and parents are nuts.
Out of control.
I think the year that Dan was playing, or a couple of years within that time, they had to pull out a taser.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. Everyone is so intense about it. None of these kids are professionals.
No.
They don't care. The kids do not care. They don't know the score. They don't know what's going on. They just like cheering and having fun and hanging out with their friends.
And having ice cream at the end at the snack stand.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever it is. So
yeah, it's crazy this day and age. And so going through that, how did you end up like finding like your miniature golf course and going, this is it. This is what I want to do.
So I've done a lot of different things. I used to work for the Minnesota Vikings, the Minnesota Stars, which are now the Loons, Minnesota United. They do great. At the state capitol, I've worked in some construction things. And one of the jobs that I was doing right before this one was I was working for a storm restoration association. So we would travel around the nation and train the storm contractors on how to run their business properly and how to make money without, cheating any of the customers. That's kind of what we were trying to do. But for that job, I was traveling in the wintertime, and in the summertime, we had a lot of time off. It was a lot of work from home type of job and traveling. So in the summer I was off, and right by my house, there's this rundown mini golf place and driving range. And I think when we first moved to Chisago City, we went there one time and we were the only customers there. There was no one there. It was a little drizzly and we played and it was quite run down at the time. I was like, all right. And then, before I knew it, it was closed and it had been closed for a little over a year, maybe a year and a half or so. And the way I found out how to contact them was I saw a blog post of a mini golf people, a couple of putts. Those guys are great. And they said in their blog that they had reviewed that course. And in the review, they said the owners had emailed them and said, hey, can you come back out because they weren't ready, blah, blah, blah. And so I emailed the bloggers a couple of putts. I said, hey, do you have that email address still? Because no one else knew how to get a hold of them. And so they graciously gave it to me. And that's how I started the conversation of, hey, are you guys looking to sell or lease it or what was going on? And so that's how that started. So, and then I signed the lease contract the day I met the person I was signing it with. So, which was kind of interesting. But it was a process. The weeds were 6 feet tall in the mini golf course. You couldn't see a single obstacle out there. I had to mow the driving range 12 times, and it's a 10-acre driving range, 12 times before it actually turned into grass that actually you could hit off of and stuff. It was pretty crazy.
Wow, that is really unkept.
Yeah.
I mean, they were pretty hands off, I take it.
Yeah. It was a family deal where someone walked away and nobody wanted to step up, and it's just that's what happens when things kind of transition like that. But they've been gracious. They all live in the area still, a lot of the people, so they're happy to see that I didn't turn it into something else.
Yeah,
so,
and with this day and age too, which is really cool that you did that because you just don't see those things anymore, like the miniature golf, and
right.
It really brings people back to a time.
Oh, absolutely. I loved growing up. I used to go to Gasoline Alley over here in Blaine, and I loved going there, driving the go-karts and the bumper boats and the arcade stuff. And it was a lot of fun. It was like a destination. It was something, all right, hey, it's someone's birthday. We get to go to Gasoline Alley. That's a lot of fun. And then obviously that place, closed down and stuff. I mean, it's eventually turned into something else now over there. But yeah, so that is super great for the community. It's good. I live in Chisago City, so I am happy that I work and live and I can create something that all my neighbors and friends and people can just really enjoy and love. So
yeah. Instead of turning it into some condominiums.
Yeah,
or some,
right.
Apartment complex.
And then when I took it over, they just had a pro shop inside, and I can't keep up with Second Swing or the internet at this point, and I'm assuming that's kind of what happened to them. And it was really hot most of the days. No one would show up, or it rained, no one showed up. And my wife really loves Nelson's Ice Cream Shop down in Stillwater. The place is amazing. And so she said, let's put an ice cream shop in here. And it's been like one of the best ideas ever. And so what we did is we went through the process, which is a long process because I have to have a full restaurant license just to sell scoop ice cream. Wow. So we added the ice cream, and that's kind of, people really like that aspect of it because it was just mini golf and it was just a driving range. There's no reason to stick around or just like hang out and watch other people or just have a community area just to hang out. So the ice cream has been a huge part of it. So.
And I got a chance to sample it, and my body type screams like, I love ice cream, right? And
yeah.
For your audiences listening out there, this podcast is like, it's hard to find maple nut ice cream at any location.
Yep.
It's not an easy one. They also had butter pecan. And one of the things that I don't want to offend anybody out there, but I love old people ice cream, maple nut. I still remember bringing home the butter pecan, and my son says to me, Dan behind the camera says, hey, why did you get old people ice cream? How come you can't get cookies and cream? Right?
Yeah. No, I mean, we try to have all the ice creams for everyone, all ages. We have over 32 flavors there of hand dipped ice cream. That's great.
Oh, that was good ice cream.
Yeah. I only get ice cream that's good because I try all of it. I mean, that's kind of the prerequisite for me. If I don't like that kind, so there's so many different kinds of vanilla. I've tried all of them, and I have the one that I like the most. Maybe not everyone likes it, but I like it. So
That's what makes the world go around.
That's right.
Like if everybody liked black licorice ice cream.
Yeah. Right. But we have it for the people that do. So
I saw that other day when I was in there, and I'm like, I don't know. And I love licorice.
Yep.
And I love ice cream. Those two go together. Probably, I'm not sure yet.
You're going to come try it out.
But of course, back in the day, right? People said chicken and salad.
Yep.
And that went together well. So
yeah, you never know. You just never know.
No, that's wonderful. But what really fascinated me the most when I got to talking to you and Danielle, because we had Danielle on this show, was that you are putting together the longest, well, you already got the hole set up, the longest mini putt golf hole, and 702 feet?
701 feet and 3 inches. And I didn't tell you because I went away until we started talking here. I got it.
Oh, you did? Congratulations.
I did, yes.
Knuckles, dude.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yep. So I just got notified on Monday morning from Guinness World Records that I now am the holder of the longest mini golf hole in the world at 701 feet.
Awesome. So, right here, you heard it here first. Publicly. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Tell us about the process of getting there.
The process is difficult, and I understand why it is, but it's also, I understand why it's not. So when you first want to get a world record, you go to their website and you have to like put an application in. Well, if my hole wasn't ready at the time, so I was like, all right, well, and then he said that it takes 12 weeks for them to just look at your application, just to approve your application. That's a long time. So what we did is I put in the application, and it didn't go anywhere. They didn't accept it. It didn't say it got submitted. And I went over and over again for like a month or two. So I tweeted at them because I'm like, I can't figure out how you guys just to look at my application just to approve it. It's like, I know it's been 12 weeks. My 12 weeks are up. And no, nothing's happened. So I had to tweet at them, and then they responded. They were quick to respond. I mean, quick enough, not 12 weeks long. So they responded to it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, hey, we'll get that taken care of." And then my application was accepted. But by then it was winter, so I couldn't go do the test where we go and measure everything and have it all pictures and everything like that. So we had to wait till everything melted. And then, so again, another process. So then I had to change my date of the application because I was planning to do it in April, and it was just, so we moved it back a couple weeks. So I did all my stuff. I measured based on their criteria that they had. I had 2 witnesses. I videoed the measure. We measured the whole thing. I send it all in. It says another 12 weeks. I'm like, all right, well, that's a long time. I assumed that my application being accepted would just say, hey, now submit your evidence and it should be good to go. Nope, another 12 weeks. And then we were getting close. I was planning to have another grand opening this year in June, and right before, so it was June 7th. So a week before that, I was waiting because you can pay them to look at your application.
Of course.
Of course, absolutely. So $650 for them to look at my application and give a determination. I think they had 5 working days, which working days could be anything, but it wasn't business days, it was working days. So they did look at it, and then they sent back, oh, we need you to do all these other things that aren't on what we said. So they needed an actual surveyor, which wasn't part of the application, to like measure it. And then we need to have a witness that's from the World Mini Golf Sport Federation, which I don't know why they needed to be a witness. Anyone could witness somebody measuring a hole. But so I needed to have that, and then just another witness. And for me, it was quite defeating at the time because I was trying to hopefully get it done right before the grand opening, so I could say, hey, by the way, we also have the world record. I know I had the world record, but it wasn't certified, right? And that was kind of what I was torn for. I don't want to promote something that, you never know. And so I was defeated for like a month. I was like, this is just ridiculous. So I don't even know what to do. So I had to reach out to the World Mini Golf Sport Federation, and they're over in Europe, and I got no response for like a week or so. And I was like, all right. So then I reached out to the U.S. Mini Golf Federation, which is just another mini golf course, right? The person who's there, he owns a mini golf course, I think it's in South Carolina. Super great guy. But he's like, oh, I'll see what I can do. And then, cause I called him cause email just wasn't working. And so he called me back. And he's like, oh, I don't know. Well, I'll get back to you. I'll have to look into it. I was like, all right. So I contacted a survey company and I told them, hey, I just need to find someone to be a witness. That's the proper person. I said, all right, just let us know when you get that set up. And so then I reached back out to Tom Loftus from a couple of putts. And I said, hey, by chance, are you actually a member of the World Mini Golf Sport Federation? He said, I am. And so I said, hey, would you mind coming out and just witnessing this for me? He was super gracious, super wonderful. And he said, yeah, actually, Pat just called me from the U.S. Mini Golf Federation, asked if I could do this. And
the South Carolina
Yeah,
owner.
the guy in South Carolina. So I was like, all right, well, perfect. So everyone's on board. And we finally got them out on July 22nd to do a measurement. And the measurement was great. We had to film it. Tom played the hole. I think he played the hole probably 10, 15 times because he was just bound and determined to get the lowest score on that hole. So it's a par 13. It's 701 feet, 3 inches. It's a par 13, and that accounts for children hitting the ball as well, right? Because it's very far. And it goes back and forth. And so he had got it in 8 a couple times, but because somebody else had already gotten 8, and he was like, I can get it in 7, and he was still out there, and we were doing some other closing up stuff, and he came and he's like, I did it, I got it in 7. So he has the whole record currently at 7 strokes. So, but he did say that if you worked it out right, you could get it in 6. Because he putt it would be like a 120-foot putt or whatever it is to get it in 6. But it can be done. I mean, it's close. You can possibly do it. But yeah, he got it in 7 2 times, I think he said. So
Wow.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's everyone's favorite hole. The reason I made this hole, a couple of things was, one, when I first took over the place, I built a 9-hole course, and one of the holes that I designed there was just a 48-foot straight putt, but at the top had a skateboard ramp type thing. So it would go up and then it would roll all the way back down. And everyone loved that hole. They absolutely loved it because it wasn't even 48 feet then, because they were putting it and it would come back down 40 feet. So they're hitting it, like 80, 120, 300 feet of putting, and they loved it. It was challenging, but it was easy at the same time because you could get a hole in one on that one. So it's a lot of fun. And then, so when I was designing this new course that we had built, and we used Greeley concrete, everyone that I had put that together was all local contractors. So everyone within Forest Lake, Wyoming, in the area, Chisago, everyone, that's kind of what I want to do, is just promote the local companies. If I'm going to spend that much money, I want it to be within my community. And so it did a great job. One of the things we wanted to do was design the longest hole in the world. So I researched how long it was currently. It was 459 feet. And I didn't want to just beat it by a little bit. That's just not fair. That's just like playing Price is Right and going over $1 over a person. Yeah, it'll work, but that's not what we're trying to do. So we wanted to crush it. And my wife wanted to make sure it was over 700, because when we were designing it was like 680, 690. She's like, can we get it over 700? I'm like, I can get it over 700. We'll do some changes here. And then so that was the design. And the reason I wanted to be in Guinness World Records, and we have talked before about this, is because I saw a Happy Days episode with the Fonz, and he, rode his motorcycle and jumped over something. I think in the Guinness World Records, it was like, oh yeah, great, this is a cool thing. And the whole community was all about it, right? But he had his cousin there at the time, right? His younger, not as strong, cool cousin, who also wanted to be in Guinness World Records and be like his cousin or uncle. I don't remember that much. Right. But he did that thing where he stacked the coins on his elbow, right? And then he would just catch them, do some weird catching. And it was like a number, and the Guinness guy was going to leave, but Fawn's like, hey, can you just do this for him? And he did it, and he got it. And it was not jumping a motorcycle, but it was something that anyone could do, right? And so for me, that was like, anyone could actually be in the Guinness World Records if you put your mind to it and you work really hard at something. So, and that was the inspiration, and everyone loves this hole. It's their favorite hole. We ask them time and time again, what's your favorite hole? And it's the long one. It's the long one.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, because how often you get to swing that hard and hit a mini golf ball. Right. So you got to keep it straight. People are like, it goes off. Well, yeah, it would go off anywhere if you swing that hard, right? Yeah. So yeah,
so there's a certain touch to it.
There is, absolutely. It would be putting anywhere if you're not going to putt it straight, and you should be able to putt it straight and hard. And like I said, Tom got it in 7 2 times, so it can be done.
Wow, that's so awesome. And what I really learned about you with that is, your successes don't just come because like they get there or they just get presented in front of you. You just kind of get an idea and you're like a pit bull with it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of businesses or people that want to accomplish something, you got to be a pit bull.
Yeah, you got to work hard. It's a lot of work. I mean, people look now. My parking lot's full all the time, and people love going there. And you would think if you drove by, like, oh, this place just showed up overnight. No, I've been doing it for 7-8 years now. It takes a lot of work. I mean, that first year was not profitable. Yeah. Let's go with that. It was a lot of work just to clean it up. I did it myself. I didn't have the money to be like, all right, I got this land. I'm just going to pour a ton of money into it and hope it works. I mean, I'm more of a practical guy. I want to make sure that this can be a profitable business if you do it right, if you work hard and you put the right things forward and you listen to the customers and give them what they want.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's amazing how some people think like, man, that place is overnight success. If you look at the owner or the person that got it started, it's years of failures.
Oh,
and
yeah, absolutely. So many
failing
failures.
Forward.
Yeah, so many failures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, you're a pit bull. I can just tell you're gonna whatever you put your mind to, you're gonna be successful. And God, I just love that. If you want to get in the Guinness Book of World Records, I feel like that's the key.
Yeah,
you just got to be a pit bull.
Gotta do it. Yeah. Most of these people, you have to work really hard. And you have to persevere. You have to, do that. You have to keep going.
Yeah, I was once told a story that if the Twins offered like $1 million if you can hit a home run off their pitcher, line would be lined up, wrapped in the cities, right?
Yeah.
And you get one shot, but you have to go back to the end of the line, right?
Yeah.
And the guy that probably would end up winning it is the guy that keeps going and back the line and get back in line and trying it. Because you're going to lose a lot of people the first time they go, oh, this is crazy. The second one, like, that's too much work.
Yep.
It's the one that keeps coming back that's going to be successful at it. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. I feel like you're that person.
Right. You have to just keep being persistent and just keep going. And yeah.
Awesome, Travis. All good stuff. With that, I think we're going to take a break here, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
All right.
Tired of lugging heavy bags of water softener salt from the store? Twin City Heating, Air, and Electric now delivers premium water softener salt right to your home in returnable, reusable 20-pound containers to go green and light enough to save you from injury. Serving the north suburbs, we're your neighbors who know how hard our water is. No more running out of salt and dealing with spotty dishes and stiff laundry. Quality salt, reliable delivery, local service you can trust. Because at Twin City Heating, Air, and Electric, we don't just keep your home comfortable, we keep your water soft and your life easy. Twin City Heating, Air, and Electric, now with water softener salt delivery. Call today or visit us online. And we are back from our break, and this is the portion of our little podcast that I get to show you some photos that actually Danielle sent me.
Oh, good.
Are you ready?
Yeah, sure. Hope she's not still bitter from when we were young.
She was like a really cool interview. I mean, I felt like with her wrestling and just being kind of a trendsetter. Well, not far from you.
No,
being a trendsetter.
She's in her own world. She's awesome. She's rocking it. So,
yeah. What she does at Abracadabra.
Yeah, it's impressive. It's impressive.
Yeah. Loved her. Anyway, so she sent me this first picture.
Ah, there we are. Yeah. Back in the day, look at that sweet TV in the background.
Oh, yeah.
Big old tube TV. Yeah, so when we were younger, because I think we're like a year and like 4 months apart, people thought we were twins. So when we were growing up for a while, it's just, we looked a lot alike.
Yeah.
Still do to a point.
Still a little bit. Yeah.
A little bit.
Still, you can tell the apple doesn't
fall
too
yeah,
far.
for sure.
And then, of course.
That's my buddy Bowie. I think he's in North Carolina now. He's, that was on our route up on Easter. So on Easter Day, we did a convoy from Kuwait to Balad, Iraq. So up north. So a lot of miles. Sitting in the back of I think it was a 5-ton truck. That's where we sat for like a couple hundred miles or whatever it was.
Wow. And it's not just paved roads for.
No. Yeah, I think we slept under that truck that one night or whatever. So, but yeah, it was good times.
For our audience that isn't watching this on the video scope, we have a young Travis with in his military gear, full gear turnout.
Yeah. And if you notice, we're in the desert and I'm wearing a green camo flak jacket because that's kind of the equipment I got when I was over there.
Because they weren't as prepared, so you didn't get the tan.
He was part of the active duty unit, and he had all the gear, and I had some jungle gear, which is like Vietnam era. So good times.
It's like if you had to jump out, you would be spotted.
I would be spotted quite quickly. Yeah, with my desert arms and my green chest plate. It'd be great.
Oh my God! Yeah. Well, again, thank you for your service. That's awesome. I mean. No, I'm sure you had a lot of memories from there.
Yeah.
Some good.
Yeah,
some
made a
bad.
lot of good friends, and that was one of the things I like to take from the military. Is a lot of my really good friends are from that time era,
Right.
so it's a lot of fun.
No, that's awesome. And then
That's actually at the state fair.
was it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yep. I was actually it's a close up, but that's me at the state fair and with my mom and my nieces and nephews and stuff. So it's a good time.
And that was about 15 years ago. A little younger. 10, 15 years ago.
No, let's see, 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
It was about 10 years ago because that's when I was with the UASRC at the time.
Okay, and you,
Got that.
you were still pretty young then. I mean, well, you're just young now. What am I saying?
Sure. It's all relative, right? It's really
Exactly. So, if you can give that young man 10 years ago advice on what to look for in life and
other than
where you're at now,
other than buy Bitcoin like everyone else, right?
what would you give him?
Yeah, no. I would say keep on the path you're going. I mean, you just keep going, and you're gonna find all the success you've been looking for.
That's awesome. Yeah, and be a pit bull.
Yeah, don't stop. Don't stop.
That's the one thing I got out of you here is you really are one that's like, I ain't taking no for an answer, and I'm gonna keep coming.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's how it works.
Yeah,
That's how you get things done.
oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. It's been great. Yeah, and at that time, did you even know you were gonna go? Hey, I'm gonna buy a.
No, not at all. Nope. I was working for someone at the time. I always was interested in owning my own business. My mom and my uncles, they used to own a greenhouse nursery. It's called Tamlin's Farm and Greenhouse out in Blaine, actually not far from here.
Okay.
And so I've grown up around that thought process of, hey, owning your own business, you make the rules. You deal with the decisions you make too. So
Yeah.
but yeah.
That's the one thing that people don't always understand about business owners. Like, they either think it's like really super hard, which it is.
Yep.
And yes, whatever decisions you make, you have to live with that
That's
and
right.
figure through it.
Yep. And you will overthink all the time.
And sometimes you have to have a short memory too.
Oh,
and
my goodness,
constantly
yeah.
fail forward.
gotta be a goldfish, right?
Yeah.
Gotta start the next day because yesterday wasn't good, but hopefully today will be better.
Oh, that's good. That's good advice. That's some really good advice. So the other closing question, one of the closing questions I always have is, if there's somebody you can choose to be on this podcast and you'd listen to, like you'd really want to hear on a podcast, who would that be?
Yeah, so I thought that Nick Crevetta, he owns Nordic Harbor, which is in Center City, and he's turned that place. It was run down. Similar concept what I did. He saw something in this location, which is a bunch of motels all connected, and then I think there's a house there as well, and then there's this beautiful market now. Before it was just a rundown, torn up place, but yeah, he's turned it into this destination. It's on the lake. It's got a liquor store, gelato. They have a bar. They have live music. They just celebrated their 1-year anniversary just this past weekend. And yeah, so he's turned it into a super cool place. So I've had conversations with him when he first started working on it and stuff. So
how long did he do that? How long? Did
it probably took him like a year, I think, pretty close to a year to get it where it is now. It was a process. It just is. There's a lot of work that goes into that.
So did he just start it, or
no? It's a year anniversary, so he's had it up and running for a year.
Okay,
Yep.
And then he started that project when?
2 years ago, probably somewhere around there. I'm not.
So to be able to do that too, you got to just be consistent.
Oh, absolutely. He was there all the time. Anytime I drive by, they were out there doing work because they had to gut every one of those motel rooms, and they aren't very big, but he has them looking amazing. I mean, if you can look it up, and there's video, and it's fantastic.
And with old motels like that, I'm sure there's a lot of challenges, a lot of.
I'm assuming.
Code.
Yeah, when I went in there, I was like, "Ooh, that's a lot of work." A lot of work. Yeah. So, like I said, they gutted it down. It's all like brick and stuff. So they gutted everything down. So.
Oh, that's really cool. And I love history stuff, so I'm gonna have to go out there and check that out.
Yeah.
So no doubt. And this is the part of our program where I have a couple of gifts for you. Some going away presents, like Don Pardo would say on the game shows, right?
Fantastic.
Back in the day. So what I have here for you is, I got a bunch of stuff actually now that I think about it. But first and foremost, it's thank you for being on the show.
Fantastic. Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's not like completely like engraved or anything like that, but just a little memento.
I mean, it's got my name on it. I can put it on the shelf.
That's
Absolutely.
right. That's right. And I know how much you and your family kind of go camping every once in a while.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Love that. There's some camping utensils, and
oh, cool.
They actually have chopsticks in there. So
oh, nice. That's super cool. That's fantastic. And kids are better at it than I am. So,
and it wouldn't be complete without a bottle opener. Yeah, you can look at
yeah, no, it's good.
A bottle
cool.
opener for the magnet. And
nice.
Of course, because you are the ice cream king.
Oh, look at that. That's fantastic.
You can wear it with pride.
I will. That's fantastic. I appreciate that.
Oh, my pleasure. It's so great to have you on the show and being able to announce it here on your feet.
The Guinness World Record.
Yes, awesome.
I'm in there at least for now.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And somebody's gonna come along and be a pit bull and probably try and break it.
They can try. I made sure I had a bunch of space if I ever need to expand. I can expand probably another 1,000 feet if I really wanted to. So
you're not going to be beat, are you?
No.
Wow. Well, that is fantastic. And again, Travis, I can't thank enough for being on Twin City Tales podcast. If you want to learn more about Travis, you can go visit him at his website, www.greenlagoongolf.com. Fantastic ice cream. He doesn't have that in that website, but I got to go back for the ice cream.
Yeah.
Again, that's www.greenlagoongolf. Or you can visit us at Twin City Tales Facebook page, and we'll post it there. And as we roll out of here, I just want to say thank you to Chris Hockey for the use of his song, Thanks, with no pun intended. This podcast is powered by Twin City Heating and Air Electric. And until the next show, you can't go wrong with Wyman Wong on Twin City Tales podcast.
This song goes out to my family, to all the ones who died before me. I'm sure the family life made you do things you never wanted to, so I wrote this song to say thank you for the breath that I just took, for the life my son will lead.